Hi guys. Hello, hello. We are about to enter and see the Plum Grove at Osaka Castle. And I am in front of the Aoya Gate. And we will start from here today. And I can see the comments from Facebook, but I cannot see the ones from YouTube, unfortunately, today. So if you're on YouTube, I will check your comments later. We're right here in front of Aoya Gate. Hello. Oh, Dai, did you make it in the end? Yeah, it's so warm today. The weather is great. It's sunny. Sun is shining, birds are singing, and it's great. And there's a lot of people. So many people today. So it will be a bit crowded, but I will try to show you and give you a good tour. Yeah, so this is our second tour together. And the first one was in the center of Osaka in Dotonbori. And right now we are at Osaka Castle. And there's a beautiful plum grove next to this Osaka Castle. And this is just a gate at the entrance. And after we enter, we will be able to see the plum grove. And now it's a very good season to see the plum blossoms, since they're blossoming now. It's a very good period now for that. So I hope you will enjoy it. And I hope that those who came to the first tour in January join this month also. And you can see more tours that I'm guiding on the website called Heigo. So please head there also if you want to see more tours. I often go to Kyoto also because I really like Kyoto. Oh, really? Can I fix that somehow? Oh, okay. I thought both were set up. Yeah, probably it's too late to set it up. Anyway, today people on Facebook can check it out. Alright, so we are at the gate right now. Aoya Gate. And when we enter, there will be some interesting attraction next to the gate that I want to show you. That will be exciting. And then we can go ahead to the Plum Grove. Hi, Dina. Welcome, welcome. If this is the first time you're joining the tour, I want to tell you a few words about myself. So I've come to Japan about 8 years ago, and I've been living in the Kanto area for some time, and now I'm living here in the Kansai area. And I am an elementary school teacher, but I'm also hosting some tours here and also on Heigo. And these tours are made possible by your tips. So this is a tip-based tour. So if you want to give a tip, then if you like something during this tour, you'll be able to head to the comment section, to the description section, of this tour, and there you will find the details. No sound. Okay, sorry about that, Vivian. Anybody else can hear me? I think Dai was able to hear me. And how about Dina and Ling Chung? Can you hear me? We will start the tour in about a minute. And as I was saying, we are at the Aoya Gate. Behind me is the Aoya Gate. And this was founded in about 1620, but then it was destroyed several times. Oh, Dina can hear me. Okay, thank you. It was destroyed several times, and then it was rebuilt in 1969 using some leftover materials. So this is the leftover materials and the rebuilt version of this gate. And it's very strategic. As you can see up there is a window, so the people who were working there and protecting the castle could see from up there if somebody was coming, if the enemies were approaching. All right, so it's time to start the tour. I will flip the camera and I will walk you inside. And today is a busy day, so many people. If you want to take another look, now you can see the Aoya Gate. Looks like this. And this is the entrance to the castle. Hello, Catherine, from Singapore. Nice. You can see from here a closer view. And in there you can see already the castle. So beautiful, right? Especially today, it's a great weather for this. And check this out, some people have owls and eagles. And they brought them to display here. That's interesting, like as a pet, which I don't know, you might have mixed feelings about it. If you should use a wild animal as a pet or not. But I hope they're treating them well. All right, so here's the castle. For those of you who have not seen it yet, I know some of you have been traveling to Japan several times. Yeah, I have another microphone, the Boya microphone, but I had it in January also. So the sound quality should be similar to that time. So yeah, Osaka Castle, so beautiful up there. But the history of Osaka Castle, I want to tell you a little bit before we go inside. So it was built. Oh, there's a boat before I start. Let me show you the boat. This is a sightseeing boat that you might be able to ride if you come here to visit. Looks pretty nice, right? Looks like a kind of ancient boat. And there's some explanation in English. Actually, I can hear they're doing an explanation in English, so even for foreigners, yeah, it's good. All right, that's nice. Oh, von Österreich, meine Mutter. Hi, Mom. Yeah, the temperature right now is. The temperature right now, I didn't check before. Let me check, but it's pretty warm today. 11 degrees. 11 degrees. Yeah, so let me step back and tell you a little bit about this castle before we go to the Plum Grove. This is a very popular park. Many people are walking around. So about the castle. A little bit of history. So it was constructed by Toyotomi Hideyoshi. He was the first to start building it. Of course, this is the reconstructed version. And then he was copying Oda Nobunaga's castle. And yeah, the plan featured 5-story main tower with 3 extra stories underground and gold leaf on the sides of the tower. And he wanted to impress the visitors. And then Hideyoshi continued to extend and expand the castle. And as you can see, there's a moat around it, so the attackers cannot go close too easily. And then he passed it to his son, Toyotomi Hideyori. Yeah, so yeah, this castle has a very long history. If you're interested in that, you can learn about it more. And maybe something about what happened recently is that in 1995, the Osaka government approved a restoration project. And then in 1997, it was completed. So this is the version of 1997 after the restoration. And in the inside, there's a very modern and functioning museum too. Okay, so then, as you can see, it's a Saturday, so it's pretty crowded. But I think we will be able to see some good views of the plum blossoms. Danielle says, I've been here. Thank you for giving us a tour. Yeah, you're welcome. So you can see here, Plum Grove. You can see the kanji characters. That is the character for plum, and then grove, right? Tree, many trees. Plum Grove or garden, right? Plum forest. You can see it here. Yes, and many people are going to check the plum blossoms. And here you can see kind of like orientation, other things that you can see, Osaka Joho, Aquabus Station, Osaka Business Park, then the train station. I came by the JR, by that train. My husband is here too, he came by bicycle. Yeah, so actually in Osaka you can kind of get from different points to different places by bicycle too. Hi guys, thank you for joining from Singapore. All right, so let's start our stroll in the Plum Grove. I will do some close-ups of the plum blossoms, and I will tell you a little bit about the plum trees and the plum blossoms and how plums are used. But first, let's see some of the trees. Oh, Korea also. Hi. Many viewers from Asia. Now it's a good time for you, right? Kind of similar time zone. You don't have to wake up at crazy times. All right, which way should we go? Left or right, right or left? Let's go this way. Seems like most people are coming like this and coming back on the other side. Yeah, so still not full bloom, but you can see maybe this is the middle of the season, I would say. So the season starts around the beginning of February, and now already you can see some plum blossoms. And if I'm not wrong, these are some poems, right? Could you read that?
暗きより暗き時にぞ河の通見えぬ光の沿う梅ならん
Can you translate? Difficult.
Difficult.
Difficult to translate. Or maybe just the message. What would be the message of the poem? How do you feel about this poem? You don't feel any?
Maybe feeling nowadays we can feel many sad news and maybe feel depression and sometimes and that at that time you can smell the
plum blossoms.
Smell of the plum blossoms, and it is the beginning of the. It is slightly light, but it is seriously light.
Seriously light.
It is light だから。それはちょっとだけの光やけど。
Ah.
でもそれは。
Okay. So it's like kind of the light at the end of the tunnel.
だからそう。
Ah,
だからそ
okay.
れは希望を持って悪い時こそ希望を持ってっていう。
All right. So keep hoping, even though there's difficult times. The message of that poem was that even if there's difficult times, there are small things, right? Like the plum blossoms, which can bring a spark of joy in your heart and kind of help you through the difficult situations. Oh, that was a very good poem, actually, for the present situation, yeah. Oh, from Philippines also. Hi. Hi, guys. Today only Facebook, sorry about that. We will fix it for next time, okay? Don't worry. Yes, and we have like the white version and the pink, hot pink version. And there are also some yellow flowers, which I don't know if we will see here, but I went to Tsukigase this week, and they had the yellow version too. Okay, some close-up, and I want to tell you about the... Okay, let me... Can you hold it for a second until I fix my mic? Can you hold it for a second? Hold the handle. Thank you. So let me put my mic back, and so I wanted to tell you about the shape of this flower. And maybe you have seen the plum blossoms that have like the heart shape, but this the cherry blossoms have the heart shape, but the plum blossoms have the like just a round petal, as you can see. So that's how you can recognize, especially the pink ones. You don't know exactly, are those plum or are those cherry blossoms? Yeah, but yeah, they're looking pretty neat. I'm trying to focus on them. And then some are still just buds. The buds are pretty cute too. And then there are a variety of plum trees here. So I think Kojiro, is that the name of the variety?
I think it is the name of variety.
Yeah, so this tree is Kojiro. So it has a tag with the name of the variety. So we can check out. Kojiro is Old Castle.
Old Castle.
Old Castle. So this is the Old Castle plum tree type. And this one also has the buds, but also bloomed flowers. Danielle is asking, do you have a favorite color of plum blossom? I guess the white one, because the pink kind of reminds me of cherry blossom, but when I see the white, like this one, this kind of tells me, oh, it's plum blossom. How about you guys? Which one do you prefer? Do you have like a preference? But the hot pink ones are also the like darker pink. Those are also pretty cute. These pale pinks are nice too. Well, let's see. There's another poem here. Yeah, thanks, Dai. Dai was sharing the ways you can donate to make these tours possible. So we have set up a schedule of monthly one tour here on Facebook and on the Osaka Localized tours. But we want to have more projects, so if you support us, that will help us have more projects. Okay, maybe let's make a round here. Yeah, I think these flowers will bloom maybe a bit, maybe in 2 more weeks. I think it will be full, because some trees like this one, for example, still all of them are just buds. Danielle says, I like the lighter pink ones. Yeah, those are cute too. Yeah, Chelsea, I'm sorry about you guys not being able to come here, because actually we really want tourism to start again. And yeah, being able to share this live would be, again, a different experience if you could actually come. But hopefully things will change soon here too. And I don't know about the international travel, how much, it will ramp up, right? Because this summer I also wanted to go back to Europe, but since the situation right now is not so stable, I'm still thinking what to do, actually. All right, yeah, I wanted to show you this one, the darker pink. But this seems like it's bloomed already, and kind of at the end of the blooming life cycle, because I can see some of the dry petals too. And as you can see around there, we have lots of big buildings, office buildings. So this is the central part of Osaka, actually. So it's surrounded by big city life. So it's a very popular spot. If you come to Osaka, definitely most tourists like to visit here. Okay, let's see. This is another type of plum blossom. Let's see this one. Oshuku. What's the first one? I don't know. Oshuku.
Oh, it's a kind of bird. It's
Bird?
bird.
Ah.
It's uguisu.
Uguisu.
So it is a staying place of uguisu.
Okay. So a special bird is staying on this tree. It's dedicated to that bird.
It is a good match for if riding the uguisu on this tree and seeing it. It is good situation. So so name someone named it.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. And then, this is the same variety. So these are the same varieties. And then I can give you a view of these white ones. These are really pretty, actually. Samla is asking, usually plum tree blossoms before cherry tree blossoms. That's right, yes, exactly. So the plum trees start around February, maybe, yeah, mid-February, but some are already at the beginning of February. And then they continue until mid-March. And then from mid-March until beginning of April, we have the cherry blossoms. But also it depends on the region in Japan, right? So right now here in Osaka, the temperatures are more elevated, so it's a warmer climate, as opposed to maybe Nara, where we've been this week on the 23rd. It was a national holiday, and there at like 200, 300 meters, mostly we had just buds and just a few flowers were blooming because of the weather conditions, right? So actually, usually there's a map. These are so beautiful and so fluffy. I need to show you. So big, right? You can see like my finger and then the flower. I forgot what I was about to say. I was talking to my... Yeah, so I was just talking about the timing of the blooming, and then there are maps also telling you like where and which flowers, the plum blossoms, the cherry blossoms, which one are blooming and about when. And this one is also full bloom. Everybody's kind of gathering around it, taking pictures. Like a VIP tree. So pretty. Yeah, it could be that there are some early varieties of plum blossoms that are blossoming. Ling Chong is saying Kawazu Sakura blooming in Meguro. Yeah, it could be that they're blooming already. Okay, and then I wanted to tell you about the uses of the plums. So actually, maybe you know if you like alcohol that we have umeshu, which is made of plum, and it's kind of like a plum wine, plum drink. It's sweet, and it can be mixed with water, or you can drink it with ice. It's very popular. It's a very popular drink. And it is made of the fruits of the plums. And actually the fruits of the plums cannot really be eaten raw, so they need to be processed in some way. And yeah, as I was saying, either they are turned into a beverage, alcoholic beverage, or they might be used as pickles. So if they pickle them, then people usually eat the pickled plums. In umeboshi, they eat them on rice. And then when I was in Nara this week, I was researching more about plum trees, and actually in Tsukigase, where I went this week, they were using the plums to create paint, kind of ink, and to color the clothes, the kimonos with them. And in Tsukagasu there's a river too, so it was a very good place to make the paint and paint the kimonos and then also wash the kimonos in the river. And also from plum blossoms, from this ink, they prepare sometimes lipstick too. Okay, and then here you can see a view of the castle from another angle. Ling Chung says, the umabushi eaten with rice or put inside onigiri? Yes, you can eat it on rice and you can eat it inside the onigiri, so both are ways of consuming it. And oh, I found the yellow ones. Maybe these are not so well known, because most of the people see the pink and the white ones. DAMC. Oh, you've been in 2020? You've seen the plum blossoms. Oh, Fushiminari Shrine, you've been there. Nice, nice. Oh yeah, Fushiminari is so iconic. Actually, I've done that tour on my Heigo channel. So if you head to the description of this video, you can see my Heigo channel description also. And I've been there, and I want to do a tour also here on Facebook with Fushiminari. The connection was pretty good in the end. We were afraid a little bit about the connection, but it was good. Of course, here the connection is good because we're in the city center, but Fushiminari is kind of remote. Oh, and here again, a beautiful one. Right? Yeah, Ling Chong. I only see the pink and white ones too, mostly. It's something I discovered recently. Oh, D, have you been all the way to the top? But it's kind of like, you know, unexpected, because you would say, okay, I'm going to the top, probably have a beautiful view, but in the end, it's just another shrine there. So it's kind of difficult to share with the people who are watching that it's the top. Danielle, do you have other tours planned? Of course, yeah. Well, after the season of the plum blossom finishes, then the cherry blossoms will start. So definitely next month I will have a cherry blossom tour. And I'm not sure yet when, because it will depend on the weather too, right? Because this tour was planned for last week, right? This one's just budding. But the weather didn't permit us to have a good tour. It was cloudy and rainy, and yeah. So sometimes we have to work with the weather, and yeah, I think I will schedule it and then check the weather and then see if it's feasible. And especially the cherry blossoms are very sensitive to rain. So if there's a rain before the tour, then there's much less blossoms, and so yeah, you have to be strategic with the timing. But definitely that will be one tour, and March, and then April, I'm still thinking, still planning. Anything you would like to see? Please comment. Yeah, it's a huge plum garden, yes, it's a plum grove. And let me just tell you a few facts about this plum grove too. So this plum grove is actually in the Osaka Castle Park, which is a very huge urban park. And it's a beautiful place, I recommend it. Also for cherry blossom, it's very popular, and it's very crowded during the cherry blossom period. So many people, everybody wants to see the blossoms. And yeah, this park has a very long history too. Starting from the 16th century. And there's lots of like athletic fields and baseball fields and football fields. Sometimes we have open air concerts, so that would be something nice I could share. And Yeah, as I was saying, the cherry blossoms are very popular. And then other activities, yeah, peach blossoms also in March, which I don't know much about because mostly I do the cherry blossoms and plum blossoms. This one's pretty too. And then let's see what's here. This is, oh yeah, do you know what this is? It's very popular. Maybe you can tell by the name. You guys, if you can read the Chinese characters, is ume yukari. So it's the drink with the plum inside, right?
Yes.
So basically hot water, or is it tea? Is it hot water or just hot water, right?
Just add hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And it contains pickles of plum.
Pickled plum,
Pickled plum.
not the flour.
Not flour.
Not flour, just pickled plum.
Pickled plum
okay.
and yukari shiso.
Mm-hmm.
You know shiso.
Shiso. Yeah, but
Kento.
shiso. We will translate it for you. And in the meanwhile, I will check. Regarding kimonos, Paul is saying he wants to see regarding kimonos, which is a very good timing right now. A beefsteak plant, yes, shiso beefsteak plant is inside too in this drink. But yeah, going back to the kimonos topic, that's a good timing because actually this morning I was doing a fitting for a kimono because I will wear it on my friend's wedding. So I'm thinking of having some tours related to kimonos because my mother-in-law has a lot of kimonos. And on Heigo, I just did a really quick shorty tour of like all her kimonos. So yeah, you might want to head there also to Heigo, and we might talk about having a tour here also about that. And then the golden shrines, yes, that's in Kyoto, right? Yeah, these suggesting that. Kinkakuji, yes, that's the same, the golden shrine. Yeah, Kinkakuji. And there's another silver one too. And I'm not sure if we are allowed to stream from there, so I need to check the streaming conditions. And yeah, but as you can see, it is really crowded here and many people are watching the plum blossoms. It's really nice and it's a wide space. You can see now the castle again. Oh, sorry guys, the internet was cutting out. Maybe I didn't have good connection there. And Ling Chung says, I enjoyed the plum blossoms. It was before the February in Kitano Tenmangu Shrine in Kyoto. Okay, that could be a good place also to visit. All right, so I'll just give you this quick round view of what's going on around here. And yeah, there's a Lawson. And this tree is so pretty, right? The kind of dark brown, black, contrasting with the white. So this is a round view, panoramic view if you check out everything that's around. Okay, let's go a little bit further this way and then we can come back. And this is also, again, a VIP tree. And the people are admiring it. I'll give you some close-ups. Danielle is asking, have you heard about Nihon Minkaen Open Air Folk House Museum in Kawasaki? Okay. Traditional Japanese houses and kabuki theater. No, I haven't been there. That sounds fun. All right, yeah, that might be then another thing to put on our schedule. kind of like a maze. There's no root. It goes all around. A maze of blossoms. This is another variety. It's called Hitoeyabai. What does that mean?
Maybe it. That kanji means something one leaf.
Mm-hmm.
One leaf and wild plum.
One leaf wild plum. But yabai is like a word used in Japan for many things. It could mean great or it could mean terrible, so depending on the context.
In English, it is about fucking.
Ah, okay. Oh, this is pretty too. Full bloom there. And this plum tree is kind of cascading downwards. As you can see, these are like the downwards one, and we have those that are more like going upwards, like this one. So depending on the variety, of course. And the people are taking pictures here. It's cascading all the way down. And this one also, this is the cascading but the white version, so the other one was light pink. Weeping kind of plant tree, yes.
That brand name.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
Shiratake.
white waterfall.
White waterfall. Oh, okay. This is a white waterfall plum tree. Wow. So many creative names. White waterfall. That's a good name for this one. The other one was the pink waterfall. White waterfall, and right there is the pink waterfall. And a yellow one. And this one has a little bit of stronger smell compared to others. So from here where I'm standing, I can smell this very discreet scent, but it's pretty nice. Robai. Robai. An old lady is telling me robai. Like a bell.
That flower looks clear like paraffin.
Paraffin.
ろうそくって。
Candle.
Candle, like a candle.
It's like a candle.
That can you see this surface of the flower? It looks
Okay.
like a candle.
Ah, all right. So it's kind of like shiny, like a candle. Okay. Oh, all right, all right. Yeah. Yeah, nice color and nice scent. I wish I could share the scent too. These others don't have a strong scent, but the yellow one does have this yellow. This one's nice too, hot pink. If you're into the hot pink. Looks like this hot pink started blooming the earliest because it looks like it's getting dry at this point. And you can have another view of the castle from another angle from here. From among the trees. Let's see about this one. This is kanko. Kanko tree.
Called
Crimson.
called crimson. Crimson.
Called crimson. Called crimson.
translate directly, it's called green tree.
Mm-hmm. So the difference between the plum blossom and cherry blossom, I guess, is the plum blossoms are blooming when it's not so warm, right? So as I was telling you, it was about 11 degrees Celsius when we started this tour. And when the cherry blossoms are blooming, it's much warmer. So then there's the culture of sitting and having a picnic, right? But with the plum blossoms, people just mostly walk around, take some pictures, and yeah, many people still consider it still cold. So we have reached about the forest end from where we started. So from here we will start returning and discovering some other paths in this plum grove. It's so huge, right? And up there is the Osaka Castle Park, so you can see some other facilities. This one's also kind of fluffy and white waterfall type.
カメラに対して顔をちょっとだけこうやって後ろに首を曲げてもらう方がいいんやけど。
Have you guys tried the pickled plums? Those who have visited Japan, what did you think about the flavor? Actually, the pickled plums are kind of sour, so you cannot really eat them by themselves. I mean, some people like to eat it like that, but I think most people like to eat it with rice or something. Then it's easier to eat it. Yes, umeboshi. And they even have like a dried version that they put in a bag and you can snack on it. And some people like it. When I used to do more intense sports, some of my colleagues would eat it after sweating a lot to regain kind of the lost salt and like vitamins, I guess, through sweating. So I guess it's good to eat the plum after intense physical workout. Paul is saying Japanese plum liquor is the best. Yes, it is. Umeshi Catherine also agrees. Yes, I like that too. It's kind of sweet and easy to drink. And there's so many versions, and some of them are sold like in a box, right? The cheaper versions, but then some of the high-end versions are sold in a bottle, and sometimes they have a whole plum inside of them. Have you seen that? Can you get a plum liquor in your country? I think I drank it first time when I came to Japan, so I didn't know about it until I've come to Japan. There's another one. Looks like a bit old, I guess, or I don't know what's going on in there. Hitoyabai type. And then this one, what's this? Rinshibai? Rinshibai? Which means? Mm-hmm. Seems like this is a later blooming type, the Rinshibai. can give you another view. From here, the castle can be seen really nicely. So you can see the castle up there. Well, Samla is saying Nara has quite a few big weeping cherry blossom trees. Nice. Where is it? In Nara Park? And then Dai is asking about my Heigo tours. Yeah, they're going well. I'm having one this afternoon, so if you are joining maybe later this tour, we have about 15 more minutes. But if you want to see more of this tour, or you want to see this tour again, then you can join that in 2 hours after this tour. So it's 1 hour after it's finished, from 4 p.m. Japan time. You can see this tour again, or like a version of this tour. Of course, I cannot repeat it exactly the same. And every tour depends also on the interaction with you guys and the questions you ask and your comments. So yeah, it will be another version of this tour from 4 p.m. And then another thing I'm doing there on Heigo is I'm doing the tours called Osaka by Surprise, which is an idea that I took from another colleague. And he was doing these kind of tours in Israel, just unexpectedly, doing some short tours, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes of tours, and the location is unexpected and unprepared. So actually I just have a banner, Osaka by Surprise, and then depending on where I am, you could see different things. And for example, today we had a quick introduction of the kimonos my mother-in-law has. But sometimes I will just show maybe an interesting spot in Osaka real quick, maybe about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So that's a new concept that I'm experimenting there. And of course I will have other plum blossoms and cherry blossom tours there. And as you can see, some people do some picnic here. The AMC loves pickled plums. Can you get it? Where do you live? Okay, Sam Lai is saying Nara Park and Todaiji. You can see those special plum blossoms. Yeah, I guess some of the trees are really old. Okay, and here you can see the moat surrounding this plum grove. It's pretty peaceful. And Ling Chong is saying, I've only been to Japan cherry blossom season once in Tohoku and Hakodate. I skipped the main season and opt for northern areas blossom. The ones in Hirosaki Park. The castle is awesome. Nice. Oh, from here you can have like a nice view with blossoms and castle. How about that? Can you take a picture here? I like this view of like the castle and the plum blossoms. This is nice. Try to zoom for you guys. Here I can smell really nice scent. Maybe this tree has a good scent. It's nice. Kind of light plum blossom scent. Many people are going out with their pets too. It's a good place to bring your dog for a walk. And now we're approaching the spot where you have seen the tea, and from the back side. And this is a good place to come with your family or on a date. So many people from different walks of life can come here. Paul Brown says, do you see many street performers these days? There used to be so many around the castle. Right now, I don't see any street performer here, but could be that if you go more up to the castle, there will be some street performers. And I was in Tokyo in December, and I've seen some street performers in Ueno Park. So probably they're still doing some performances in different areas, but right now I cannot see any right here. But if I see somebody, I will go in that direction. Good point. Yeah, street performances are pretty nice. Make the environment more lively, I guess. Yeah. And here are some trees that haven't bloomed still. So if you really want to see the full bloom, I guess in Osaka, best is to come maybe beginning of March, or yeah, I don't know, by the middle of March they might have bloomed and it might be over. So yeah, this lady passing by also said maybe 1 week more. And then you can see really full bloom. But I guess this is nice too, because here you can see different stages, right? You can see the buds, you can see kind of half bloom and full bloom too. And another view of the castle. And it's really easy to access this place because it's in the center of the city. So actually, the Osaka Loop line has a station called Osaka Park. So you can just go there and get off at that station. It's really convenient. Yeah, I hope many of you can return soon as tourists. Would be great to see you. Would be great to have in-person tours too. That would be something new for me. I started guiding online, which is more like a video skill, I guess, or multitasking skill. Hello, Shannon from Canada. You still have snow? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard. I have some other tours in Hego, and there are some people there from the US, from Minnesota, who are always joining my tours, and they always tell me like, oh, it doesn't look like spring in here. So I guess in Canada it's the same, but you can get a little bit of spring feels from this tour, I guess. And sorry if I don't notice some of the comments later on after this tour. I will scroll through them, and if you had some questions that I didn't answer, I will answer and type an answer there. So right now we're watching the different varieties of plum blossoms, and some of the trees, as you have seen, had some poems displayed on them at the entrance. And then here we just have the name of the plum blossoms. There's so many different types. Of course, their looks are similar, but this one has such a long name. What's this? Tamagaki shidare. Can you tell us what that is? Tamagaki shidare.
Waterfall bat.
This is waterfall?
Waterfall bat.
buds. Ah, waterfall buds. And right now we can see it in the buds situation. Waterfall buds. Waterfall of buds, I guess. Is it focusing? Yeah, now it's focused. Such cute buds. You can enjoy them in different stages, like buds and opening up. So in Canada, when will you have spring, or when will spring start, or the warmer weather will start around?
Uguis means bush rubber. Bush rubber.
Bush warbler. Oh, we were talking about uguisu before, and my husband found that it's called bush warbler. Bush warbler,
Staying place of bush rubber.
if you're good at that. Some of the trees are dedicated to the bush warbler.
Staying on the singing place of bush rubber.
So in this tour, I'm not going to walk to the castle because it's a bit far, but I'm planning to do maybe a future tour, more focused on that, once the plum blossom and cherry blossom seasons are over, if you guys are interested. Or you can post in the comments, some of the viewers already posted places they would like to see. And some people were mentioning Kinkakuji in Kyoto, the Golden Pavilion, or other places of interest. The pink version. Yeah, I guess you can spend several hours just walking around here and enjoying the flowers, taking pictures. I think after this tour I will take some pictures. And as I was mentioning, if you just caught the end of this tour, if you're joining right now and you want to see more, I will have another tour at 4 p.m. Japan time on another platform called Heigo. And you can see some of the links in the description. And if you enjoyed this tour, make sure you leave a tip, you share it with your friends, so you make more tours possible through your support. So we're approaching the end. Anything you want to share with the viewers? Any good plum blossom story? Actually, when I used to live in Tsukuba, there was a plum blossom kind of road where you could go by bicycle. So we went there with some friends. And actually these are always good kind of contexts to meet your friends, go out together, get out of the house, especially now when everybody's so used to stay at home.
So we should talk about that song we saw before.
Which song? The poems?
Poem.
Okay. You want to talk about the poems? What do you want to say about the
The
poem?
situation is getting darker and darker. don't forget that there are many good places to see. And don't forget hope.
Yes, definitely. That's a good message, maybe to wrap up our tour. So I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the tour, we were talking about how we have difficult situations right now and difficult times, and how some small things that make you happy can brighten up your day and make you feel positive and keep going. So actually, to be honest with you guys, these tours are something that keep me motivated. Usually I do them on the weekend. So this is one of the things that kind of keep me going and make my days fun. Yeah, so I want to slowly wrap up, and I will scroll through your comments a little bit to see if I missed any of the comments. Many people talking about umeboshi, umeshu. And then I know you guys were surprised by the yellow version, right? Yeah. Yeah, and I see that many of you have been here, and you guys, I'm sure you want to come here again. So I hope it will be happening soon. And definitely I will keep this museum in Kawasaki in mind. Have you been there? Museum in Kawasaki.
No.
Nihon Minkan.
I also
Here.
want to go.
Yeah, okay, so definitely that's on our schedule. And then yeah, regarding kimonos, Paul was saying that's something we can do also. All right, well, I guess I've seen most of your comments. I will check them out a bit later on. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this tour. We could see some close-ups of the blooms. You can see kind of the atmosphere here right now. So, of course, many people are still staying at home, but yeah, some people try to go out and enjoy their time. And yeah, the rules here in Japan are still kind of not fixed about wearing a mask, but most people are wearing a mask and try to keep the social distance. But yeah, trying to take every day, one day at a time. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for holding on until the end. Yeah, and yeah, as I was telling you, we will have a tour every month at least, but we might increase the number of tours depending on your feedback also. If you want to support the tours, please send a tip. You can see the PayPal and Revolut accounts where you can send them. And yeah, I will be planning another tour soon for the cherry blossoms. So these were the plum blossoms, so awesome, so beautiful. And then the cherry blossoms will come also next month. And then, who knows what? You guys can also comment. I saw some requests for Kyoto, for kimonos and other things. So you guys can also be the creators and the planners of these tours with your inspiration. And thanks, Mom, for watching. Thank you for everybody. Yeah, it was a lovely walk together with you guys. And see you next time. Bye-bye. I will give you another view of these beautiful plum blossoms. And then I will finish the tour. Thanks for joining. See you next time. Bye.